super activated day in the land of the living. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Justin David, and today we have a presentation about is sampling cheating. With that said, let's get right into the slides. Sampling versus original composition. Sampling in music production is the art of taking a portion of an existing master recording and reworking it into a new creation. Some people seem to think that that's cheating. Others, that's the main way that they create some of the most amazing compositions in hip-hop music today. An original composition is a unique piece of music created with melodies, harmonies, and rhythms that have not been sampled from existing works. The producers who spend the majority of their time creating original compositions have been known to think that sampling is cheating and just makes it too easy, which is why they go against that grain. And there's a great debate in hip-hop whether or not today the art of sampling has been made too easy and it's too simplified, and producers cheat themselves by just collecting sounds, loops that they took no time to cut themselves. They took no time to listen to records. So the art of listening to a record to identify a chop is almost being lost. All the tutorials that are online, chop here, cut here, do it this way, regurgitating other people's processes and methods, cheats a producer of learning those processes and methods for themselves. This is not to negate the importance of apprenticeship. So we're learning from someone who's further along in the production journey to put you on the right track, give you encouragement, give you feedback of what you could do to perhaps increase your skill set and master your own style. Our core belief is a passion for exploring original compositions. That doesn't mean that we don't think sampling is useful. But is it cheating to you or not? Let us know in the comment section. Why sampling feels easier. Sampling can offer almost instant access to inspiration. Sampling allows you to jumpstart a track with a sound that's already proven. So when you're dealing with a sample, the elements of that sample that make it stand out to you and make it sound great, that allows you to just get going. Specifically now, which is why is it easier if you have a great sample that has been cut for you, that has been put in a pack, that has been made available for free download, that all you have to do is just download it and put it into your software, into your sequencer, and then add some drums that have been sampled. The argument can be made that that makes the production process a lot easier compared to taking that time to listen to records and go through records and go through the source material that might not be great material to sample, and having that moment that emerges, hearing something that would be excellent to sample, and then using that as your source material. To the skilled producer, sampling can have a faster workflow. Now that doesn't mean to take away from the fact if you're actually listening to records and going to buy the records and pick the records up, and that takes time. Searching through crates to find your records, that's a different level of sampling, and we will not sit and say that is easier. It often takes less time than composing something from scratch. So when you're working with samples, you don't have to play the bass, you don't have to play the drums, you don't have to play the piano, you don't have to play the horns, you don't have to play the strings, you don't have to play the keys. That's already been done by the musicians who made the music that you're sampling. So in that sense, it does feel like it's easier, because just imagine if you were using a sample of an orchestra. If you had to play every instrument in the orchestra, you had to play every section, that would be a lot more challenging for one individual to do. In our opinion, sampling can feel like a shortcut compared to putting together an original composition. The desire for musical mastery. By building your skills through original composition, you learn playing keys and melodies that are crucial to helping you grow as a musician. Studying the greats with aims to create music on par with the classic your parents and grandparents enjoy. And that's important to think about, because the music that you create going to be on par to be sampled. If we're just constantly sampling what was already identified as classic, it creates an environment where there's a lot of derivatives, and it takes away from some of the originality the likelihood that you'll be able to flip the sample differently than 100 other producers who have the exact same sample as you. It's not to say that you can't, but the likelihood is it's not very favorable. The challenge of maintaining originality when creating something from scratch perhaps could be more rewarding. If you're creating the keys, for instance, and you come up with a phenomenal melody and it sounds great, you selected the instrument, you layered the instrument, and you played it, and it's actually original, that could be more rewarding because down the line, what you created could be sampled and be used and be inspiration for somebody else. We have nothing against sampling. Respect to all producers who do their thing with integrity, because that's important to us too. Artistic integrity in the sense that, is it cheating to take somebody else's creative expression without their permission? And is that selfish? Is that self-serving? Because I hear what you created, I like it, and I want to use it to create something that I want to do without your permission. Maybe you don't want your work sampled. Maybe you don't want me to sample your work. And as the owner of the rights of that music, as the one who either created it or simply owns those rights, it is not okay to take that right away from you. I think that artistic integrity is really important to think about. And we don't look down on producers who sample, because it is an art form in itself. Making music is your own personal adventure, and it's not our job, duty, or interest to be a critic to tell somebody else how to make their own music and what they can do and what they can't do. None of this is law. If you prefer to creatively express yourself through only sampling, that's perfectly fine. It's just a matter of heart for us. And the best music, it comes from within. And often it's more than just reworking the music that's already out there. Sampling as a fun exercise. Sampling can be a useful tool for experimentation, even if you're just learning and sampling for fun as a creative challenge. It can be like an exercise for adding on to your creativity. Sampling can be an interesting way to keep your ears sharp and explore new ideas. It serves as dual purpose. It's both a fun outlet and a way to attract a greater understanding of what inspires you. Social media rappers and producers. Arguments over samples often lead to frustration and reduces curiosity. We've noticed many social media producers struggle to reconcile originality with creativity. As it relates to music in the internet era, whether you sample or compose, we all share a similar goal, and that's to make great music. We encourage the exploration. Sampling can be a great place to start, but learning to play the keys and compose will take your creativity further. And I think that's what the core of, is it cheating yourself? Is it cheating your creativity, limiting how far you can go as a artist, as a musician, as a producer, if you're just relying on recreating and creating something out of other master recordings? Sampling and original compositions can coexist in your musical adventure. For mastery of the art of sampling and original compositions is about fulfilling your own musical potential. And whatever it takes for you to figure that out, that's a beautiful thing. That's a part of the adventure that you're on. We encourage all rappers and producers to explore both sampling and original compositions because there's value in both approaches. If you made it to this part of the video and you learned something today that you didn't know yesterday, or something that perhaps challenged your perspective or agreed, it's a beautiful thing. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for future videos on our channel. And as always, much love, respect, and peace in